we have not been allowed to supply textbooks to any government school across Pakistan. They're provided by the Sindh Textbook Board. And in Punjab, for the last 2 years, every textbook developed by the private sector has to be approved by the by the Punjab Curriculum Board. And they, in the process of approval, they mutilate these textbooks. And you mentioned that education and human development is so important. How can our children be educated if they are using low quality textbooks and high quality textbooks produced by the private sector, world class textbooks, are not allowed into government schools?
Right. It's a fair question, Ji. I don't have a ready answer for that. I wasn't aware of this. As far as you know, education is now after the 18th Amendment is very much a provincial subject. Having said that, there's something which we'll take it up, we'll take it away. कि इसमें क्या issues हैं और ये क्यों नहीं accept हो रही and what are the reasons for that? Unfortunately, I do not have a ready answer because I'm not up to speed on this particular issue, but I will take it away and pick it up with the Education Minister. Thank you.
One last question, please. One last question.
अली खिजर साहब, आपको कौन सी चीज़ है जिसका आपको नहीं पता जो आप मेरे से पूछने लगे हैं, लेकिन आप पूछ लीजिए फिर भी। जनाब
सर, आप बात कर रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट का रोल नहीं होना चाहिए।
जी जी,
एक फ्यूचर समिट है, आप प्राइवेट सेक्टर से आ रहे हैं और आप क्रेडिट ले रहे हैं पल्सेस और चेकिंग की प्राइसेस पे से आने का, थोड़ा समझाते ही क्यों है?
नहीं देखिए, मैं तो एक चीज़ आपके साथ पूरा एग्री करता हूँ कि जिस चीज़ में से गवर्नमेंट निकल जाए उसी में बेहतरी है। क्योंकि देखें, आप क्रॉप्स की बात करते हैं, आप एग्रीकल्चर की बात करते हैं, and let's pick up. I mean, let's be very specific about it, right? I mean, there are two crops, which is rice and maize. कभी आपने सुना है सप्लाई डिमांड स्कैंडल्स, इंपोर्ट क्या कौन करेगा, एक्सपोर्ट क्या करेगा? राइस पिछले साल भी $4 बिलियन की तरफ एक्सपोर्ट हुई और मेरी अभी गवर्नर साहब से बात हो रही थी लास्ट वीक, and his estimates based on whatever he's sensing, it'll be at least a similar amount this year as well, right? ना किसी को पता चलता है कि आपने कब ग्रो किया, क्या एकरेज हुई और ये एक्सपोर्ट हो गई। Two areas, wheat and sugar, and I deal with that in the ECC every single month, and respective governments have been dealing with that. तो मेरी request मैंने की है Minister of Food से, because देखें ये everyone has to think through their own avenues, and they have to come up with the policy thing. From my side, इन चीज़ों से भी जितना गवर्नमेंट निकल जाए, पंजाब गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड किया कि ये वीट की सपोर्ट प्राइस ख़त्म करनी चाहिए, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली द राइट थिंग टू डू, एब्सोल्युटली द राइट थिंग टू डू। और इनको आप जो है सप्लाई डिमांड और मार्केट में जाने दें, और इंशाल्लाह ये भी क्रॉप्स ऐसे ही चलेंगी। और बाकी जो आपने जिक्र किया, देखिए एक रेगुलेटरी फंक्शन ज़रूर रहता है गवर्नमेंट में, एक जिस तरह हेल्थ में है, ड्रैप स्टिल नीड्स टू बी विद द गवर्नमेंट, देयर हैज़ टू बी अ रेगुलेटरी एलिमेंट टू इट, बट अदरवाइज हमारी इंटरवेंशन इन सप्लाई डिमांड शुड नॉट बी देयर। आई फुली एग्री विद यू। जी लास्ट क्वेश्चन कर लें जी आमिर इब्राहिम साहब से। जी
If not, what can be done better, and especially what can private sector and corporate sector do to facilitate and coordinate with you to accelerate in this space?
Yeah. So Amir, you have been very instrumental. Chairman, you don't know it, but the Prime Minister wanted him in the government as well. He somehow managed to stay away. I could not manage that. So we are very grateful for Amir and Jazz and overall young group support that we are getting. But to answer your question, listen, I think कि जहाँ private sector हमें help कर सकता है, especially the area where you are helping and supporting us, and you have been on the task force as well in terms of end-to-end digitalization of FBR. and I've already said why we want to do end-to-end digitalization of FBR. मेरी सिर्फ एक जो request है from the private sector, that while we are trying to do what we are trying to do in terms of simplifying processes, in terms of trying to reduce the human intervention, आप भी हमारी मदद करें, because ये not सालों का नहीं, ये decades की बात है. Speed money, facilitation money, right? Allow us to do what we are doing, and you kindly stay firm, even if you are advised by the people who have been dealing with the tax authority, कि जी ये तो हमें करना पड़ेगा, कई वज़ीर आते हैं, कई वज़ीर चले जाते हैं, हमें तो इन्हीं के साथ डील करना है, right? Stop this. Try us out, right? Because मैंने जब पहले कहा है, it takes two to tango in terms of the productivity, but also from the private sector, 2 महीने, 3 महीने, साल हमें दें, stand firm. Stand firm. Because when you are documenting an economy, which is, our last year, our tax revenues were 9.4 trillion, and 9 trillion rupees cash in circulation. When you start going to move this cash in towards document, of course there's going to be resistance. Of course there's going to be pushback. But we are very clear that our hand has been forced, both internally and externally. जो मुझे लोग में से बात करते हैं, इस दफ़ा क्यों होगा? इस दफ़ा इसलिए होगा कि अगर ये टैक्स रेवेन्यूज़ हम इस दफ़ा ना बढ़ा सके, क्या चॉइस है हमारे पास? Going back to the same for more? Salaried class and manufacturing sector, right? It's not sustainable anymore. और वो लोग कहते हैं कि जी आप कहते हैं हम empathetic हैं, इसलिए भी empathetic हूँ because before October I paid my taxes as well as a salaried class person before I went into the government. So it's not sustainable, and especially on the external side as well, where it's now all has to be investment led. The rollouts are gone. Therefore, we cannot continue to kick can down